video. Tom and Jerry, the movie. That's what we're talking about today. So, I had made a promise that I'm going to review every Tom and Jerry movie. All of them. Theatrical, non-theatrical, whatever it is. If Tom and Jerry's in it, and it has their name in the title, we're going to do it. And we are going to do this in order. I'm doing this with Scooby-Doo as well. Part of the reason I'm doing this is I wanted to at least start this before the new Tom and Jerry movie comes out. There's a new Tom and Jerry movie coming out in September in theaters finally. This is Tom and Jerry and the Forbidden Compass, I believe is the name of the movie. This movie was a Chinese animated co-production with U.S. departments of Warner Brothers. And it released in China only for a long time, and then now we're finally getting it in the U.S. And so I'm excited to talk about that and discuss that movie next month, hopefully. I'm not sure how big of a theatrical release it will get, but at least we'll review it at some point. So every month you will get a review of a Tom and Jerry movie, and I want to start, of course, with the original from 1992. Now this movie is kind of infamous. I actually saw this movie many times as a kid, and I have quite a bit of nostalgia for this movie. So, when I tell you that I don't like this movie, part of me also really loves this movie. Because this is one of those movies, my grandparents, they live about 2 hours away, and when they live out in the desert, and I'd go and visit them, and there's not a lot to do out there other than thrift shopping and a couple museums and things like that. So, when I went to go visit them, the main thing I went to go do was where we got to just visit with them, and we watch a lot of stuff. So that's how I became familiar with movies like Chicken Run, Flight Navigator, Never Ending Story, Muppet stuff, like whatever, just random things that I have a love for now because they showed it to me or they just kind of had it and we're digging through movies. And this is one of them. For whatever reason, I just like watching this movie. Now, would I call this a good movie? No, it's quite bad and has a lot of issues to it that I don't understand. See, this movie's infamous because there's a scene where Tom and Jerry talk and sing about being best friends, which is like, why would you make this movie like that? The reason this movie exists at all is basically when Ted Turner, who recently passed away, R.I.P. to him, was buying the MGM library. Tom and Jerry was part of that, and he wanted something to kind of revive Tom and Jerry, and he was doing this with other things, and this is one of the things he did. This is a thing that a lot of studio executives, you buy something, you want to do something to revive an old IP that you see money in, and that's kind of what this movie was. But it's just kind of strange because you watch this movie and you're like, well, why is this so, like, not Tom and Jerry? There's very little slapstick to it. There's very little things like that. There is slapstick in the movie, but the slapstick is, like, this weird dog character and not actually Tom and Jerry themselves. So it makes for a very awkward, weird movie in that sense where you're like, okay, I'm not really sure what they're doing with that. But, it's also one of these movies where it becomes like 4 different movies within it, because it starts one way where you got Tom and Jerry in their home trying to find a new place to live. Then they meet the street alley dog and this cricket. Then they go, and then they kind of disappear, and then they meet a little girl, and that's the next movie. And the girl's having issues with her family, where like the dad's not around and the aunt's a crazy person, and just using the daughter for money or whatever, something like that. Anyways, there's that, and then, so that's like 2 movies right there. They're contrasting. And then you get the weird, like, hey, Tom and Jerry get sent to this weird town with this weird guy. That's like the 3rd movie. And then you get the 4th movie, which is this weird, like, pirate dude. And then they all kind of converge in this weird chase scene. And it's just absolutely insanity, like, all over this movie. It's very strange. It is kind of almost worth watching because this movie's so bizarre that you'll never really be bored by watching this movie. I know, like, I don't think I've ever met somebody who watched this movie and it was like, I was bored. I met people who don't like it, and I kind of don't like it. Even though I do kind of love this movie, like I said, the nostalgia, the weird songs in this movie. Money is such a beautiful word. I know. I know. I'm sorry. But like that, I know that song really well. You know, and just things like that. It's just goofy stuff to me. Is it Tom and Jerry? Absolutely not. But it's kind of its own unique beast that makes for a movie that I kind of get the weirdest amount of like enjoyment out of in such a surreal, weird way. I don't know. Let me hear your thoughts.